Hi, I'm Lindy Witt and welcome to the studio. I'm going to show how to get the highlights on a bunch of red onions. So just a quick demo today, but I hope you enjoy it. This is some onions, and I like this because it's quite dramatic. It's on a dark background. I just put them on my stove top, and we've got the red, deep red onions with a little bit of greenery here. The lovely little linear traces of the roots of the onions and some highlights there. Got a bit of black paper. It's My Ten's text paper, black sanded paper, and that will give me the background. And so now what I'm going to do is put that one next to it so you can see and follow along if you want to. And we're just going to start. I'm just going to block in those oniony shapes with a red Conte, deep red Conte crayon. So and there'll be another one underneath it there. In this little bunch, another one coming down there. They kind of emerge out of the shadows. Another one coming round for that lovely little round bulb. And one more coming up here. So that's one more out here. Those salady kind of tomatoes, onions, and what have I got? I've got that one, I've got that one, I've got that one. This one I just want to make it a little bit longer, so we'll just bring it down and make it a little bit longer there. The red just really pops against. So I'm now going to just pop in some basic shapes there, give them a little bit of contouring. Just to get the shapes in. Now up here go the rest of the stems of the onions, the salad onions. So I'm just drawing those in now, and they're kind of tied together with a string or a rubber band here, which will sort of tie around there eventually. And they'll have some little bits coming off them as well, like so. So that's the general shape. One thing I think I've done is I'll probably crop this a little bit. I think they should be even longer. This should start down here somewhere. I should make them even longer. Even longer. And that one can be a little bit longer too. That one. Now I need to put in some more reds, so I'm grabbing out some reds out of my deep dark box. That would be my Senelia dark box. It's got some really good colours in it. So I'll just be popping some of these in. Putting in just in those curvy shapes that match the curvature of the onions. Down on this side it's more in the shadow, so I'm now putting in some deep purple for the shadows on those onions. Actually in here it starts to get shadow because it's overhung by the other onions, and this one is very shadowed all the way up into here because it's being shadowed by both onions. Round here there's some shadows, and this one's in more shade there. So I'm just getting in the some of the shapes of the onions. Another different red here. And if you haven't got exactly the colour that you're looking for, if you notice here, putting that round, and then if I want to make it a different red, I'm just putting the red over the top of the purple. So I'm getting those shapes, putting in some more reds. I'm going to purple it up around here a little bit, and there. And then I'm going to put the red in over that. I just want a whole lot of different sort of reds and purples coming off this. And then I'm going to, what will really make them come to life is putting in the highlights. So you can see where the light is shining on them. So I'll have those little bits of roots coming there, so they're sort of coming out the top, and they're just little squiggly kind of lines. So I'm just putting those in now for the little bits of roots. Some of them are lighter, some of them are darker, so I'm putting a few light ones, and then I'm going to put in some darker ones. As they kind of go into the shadows a little bit. And you don't have to be too clever about this. They're just squiggly little roots going in all sorts of directions. And we're just going to put them in like so. I'm going to add some of that colour up here because it's sort of the onion skins coming in off the stems there, so they're that more onion skinny colour, and then that runs up into the leaves there, the stems. So I'm getting some of those colours in that now, and I'll then add back in a bit more green as they cross over each other. And a couple of little highlights. To mix it up a little bit, and then I'm going to highlight some of it as it comes around onto the onion skin, and the onions themselves, and you can see that so the onions are starting to take shape. They've got a lovely red glow. What I need to do is put in those highlights now. So I'm just going to start off with a paley sort of pink colour. That's for a small highlight to start with. And then I'll work into those. And they come sort of down. And I'm again following the curve around of the onions. Catching on the curvy part of the onions, a little bit more there, and then some coming in that way. So I'm starting to get some highlights on them. I want to make those highlights even lighter, so I'm just working back into there with a lighter sort of colour over the light pink I've put in. Now I'm putting a very light pink. Again, working into it there. And not one sort of solid, they're sort of just little lines that I'm going over the top, because I don't want it to be a solid highlight. But I do want it to reflect the shape of the onion. And that's why you'll see me going around following the shape of the onion there. I might just put a different pink in as well. That gives me some highlights on them. Now I want to actually blend those in a little bit, so I'm going to use the red I've got there to just blend in the edges a little bit. Again, just blending in the edges a little bit, and a little bit there. And I'm just not going to use just the light, very light pinks for this. I'm going to use, that one needs a little bit more. Actually want the pink on that bit. I'm going to use a little bit of blue as well, sort of a reflected colour from through the window in this case. So I'm taking a pale blue and I'm just adding a little bit of that to it as well. And you can see the difference that makes adding in the blue, because it gives you a sense of light coming from elsewhere, not just reflecting off the reds of the onions, but coming from outside and onto the surface of the onions. Just a tiny little bit, little touch down here in this little spot. And here I'm going to put some in, but that's going to actually be more of a purpley colour, because it's reflected light, but it's not it's not as light as the other areas. I'm putting a little bit of those purples up there. And then again, I'm just going to blend those off a little bit with my red. And then up in here, I just want to reinforce some of those shadows a little bit, so just putting in the shadows on the and I'll even extend that up into this bundle of and now I want to put some sort of tie around there. It's actually got a rubber band, but I might make it a bit of string. So we'll just do a bit of a little knot sort of coming out there, and we'll put a few different there we have it. Onions with those lovely highlights on them. And when you want to sign this one, just choose a colour that's going to complement that. So I could choose this one, and I'm going to sign over here. So I've picked up the colour in the highlights on the little onion roots and up in here. So it's not the same as the onions, it stands out, but it helps to balance the onions off because there's a lot of space here and not so much there. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed the quick lesson we just had, and hope you join me next time. Bye for now.